All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Looks like I don't know if anybody will come in or not. There's a link in the chat if anybody wants to join. Don't be scared. It's Halloween. Everybody wears a mask. Uh-oh. Got a Jay. Hot damn. Jay, what's up, my man?
Is there no audio?
I hear you. Because you said, is there no audio?
Yup.
Hey, Tracy, what's up, man? All right, that's what Jay has to do. Bring the kid over here for technical support.
Where's the audio?
All right, RG, here's your chance, man. Bring your Auburn stuff on here.
There we go.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, well, Jay is struggling.
I'm good now.
Oh, you're good. Outstanding.
Somebody else's computer, and let's just put the audio to some random output.
Nice. Just trying to hang out on Friday nights because there's really nothing to do on Friday nights when you get old, except for lists on eBay. So I'm sitting here. So if you ever see these guys, do y'all know what the Wusthof symbol looks like? It looks like the trident. Let me grab the block so I can show you. You ever see a knife block that's got that emblem on it? That's Wusthof. You got I got the block, $10 plus the senior discount because I'm old. So it's $7.50. So I had to try it. Listed for 30 plus shipping. My wonderful wife Joni. If you guys were on John and Jenna Flipping Ain't Easy's channel, they were talking about cooking and well, the lovely Joni, my wife. I think maybe in the 35 years we've been together, she might have been hamburger helper once. So if you were watching that show, you understand. But she didn't know what this knife was. And I'm telling you, I didn't know what it was. I used the picture search on eBay. It didn't know what it was. But there's a huge difference between picture search on eBay and picture search on Google. Google picked it up in a New York Minute. It's a decorating garnish knife. Hot damn!
Antelope and stuff.
We got Dawn on the channel. Everybody, welcome Dawn.
Hey guys,
half of Two Hip Chicks.
half of Two Hip Chicks. That's exactly right.
Are you the better half or the worse half?
I'm not going to state that for public record. I'm sorry. I'm not stupid.
But the knives, each knife is worth about $30, and so
that's a nice set. Yeah.
They all have a number on them. You can't see it on that one. You can see it on the. So you don't have to be an expert. Each knife has a number on it. It tells you that this is a bread knife, but it tells you right there. You can't see it, but look up each individual knife. Each knife is worth about between $25 and $30 a piece.
That's
and
nice.
They all tell you the numbers on them. So Joni knew what this one was. The only one she didn't know was the other one. And they've got a pretty decent sell-through rate. So
nice job. Those are good.
You ready for the? This is a great tale. So if you don't know, Dawn and Mary do a show Tuesday and Thursday at lunchtime.
Yeah, Eastern. Noon Eastern. Yep.
Noon Eastern. And they were looking at an estate sale Thursday. They do a lot on Thursdays. And I'm like, man, there's an estate sale 4 miles that way.
Gotta go.
And it's an overpriced estate sale. I never hardly pick up anything.
But you gotta go. But
she had that listed for $10.
Okay. Scan snap. Nice.
That is an IX 500. On Amazon is $228 or something like that. So if you're going to do postcards or that kind of stuff, this is a 25 per feeding scanner.
Nice.
So you pick it up for yourself. The receipts, there it is in all its glory. It's probably a step up from an Epson a little bit, but yeah, I knew you would like that.
Yeah, I like that. What'd you pay for that?
$10.
Damn. Damn.
So Dawn likes electronics about as much as me. So
I do.
And the other thing is something I don't know. Most people, this was $4. Most people won't pick this up, and I listed it for I think 30 plus shipping. These things sell pretty quick.
Oh God, yeah, those are great. Those are great.
They sell lightning fast. I just listed it tonight. I expect to sell it this weekend. Basically, for us old folks, anything magnetic like a cassette tape or an 8-track, if you plug this in and set it on it, it'll erase it.
Yep.
So if you've got,
And if you're going to get into like older, like you're picking up pre-recorded, like blank high bias tapes, but people have recorded something on them, and you can sell them in bulk and get some good money for them if you just erase them, and that thing works perfect for that.
So that is listed, Carol, and half the knives are listed. I can't find my scanner at the minute, and that box right there has postcards in it. My second store is gonna be postcards, and so I'm gonna use this until I find my scanner. I think mine's in the house, but
might as well.
But that's most. I was very, very happy and pleased that I went. Oh, and the other thing I picked up
show and tell. Here we go.
I was standing in line, and then there was a long line because they were really slow. Folks, you got to look at everything. So that looks innocent. That looks innocent enough. You see them at yard sales or whatever, and for $10 you would go, she's a little high on that, like she is on everything else. Until you look at it and go, oh, wait a minute, that one's sealed. There were two copies of Professional Office. They're both listed at $70 plus shipping.
Yeah, if you find that one in either the Professional or the Ultimate, very good.
Some good money there, yeah, for sure.
So I thank you for making me go to the estate sale.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help.
Ghost picker. Okay, so most estate sales, I would tell you that you're right. An estate sale owner doesn't know. But when you've got a crackhead estate sale owner who has looked up everything, and every electronic I looked up was eBay priced, except for the $225 scanner she put with the printers at $10. She missed it. Sorry.
Everybody misses something.
This is a house full of electronics, and everything was overpriced. She had a Canon T7i. Somebody thought they had a deal at $750. I'm like, oh my God, you can buy it cheaper on eBay.
Yeah. But you can't see everything. Everybody can't see everything. That's why you can go in on the last day of a sale and make money.
And I'm going there tomorrow, last day, because everything's half price, whatever's left. When somebody has looked up everything, when even the 2.5-inch floppy disk sealed are $40. So, they looked up everything.
Yes,
but it's fine. That's her. It's her company. She can do whatever she wants to do. I don't have any problem with that. If that's what she wants. She had a lot of customers, and a lot of customers were standing in line like me with 2 or 3 things in a house full of stuff. It will be full tomorrow. So you just wait till.
Yeah.
But that was. So I've just finished editing the Office video. The Office is now finished.
Yeah, you look like you're in a different space now.
I brought these over because I'm like, why am I holding on? These are brand new printers. They're about $400 printers, so they're going to get listed. But I picked up this last week. It's new. So I'm like, I'm not going to take it out of the van and put it in storage. I'm just going to list it and take it to storage.
Nice.
Reality is they left them to appease our clients. Yeah. Some people might do that, Ghost Picker, and I'll give you that because I know you're speaking from experience. Even though I don't know you, welcome to the channel. But this lady is not. Okay, maybe DVDs and stuff she doesn't look up, but other than that. So Harlan and I went to an estate sale today, last day of this estate sale, and we got there right 20 minutes before close and made a pile and paid under half.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to her a lot, and she's like, my goal is to sell more on the first day. And so she's the most aggressively priced. You've got to figure how do you want to price it? Do you want to get 75% of 100% or half of 100%? And so her theory is she'd rather give people make more money first day. So it's
it works for her, I guess, but
everybody's got it. I'm assuming estate sales are like any other thing of reselling. Everybody has their own different model, and there's no right or there's no wrong. They're just one of these ASO companies here tells me that she prices that way because I understand my customers are majority of resellers, and so I need to get them to buy stuff, and I like to buy them when it's more expensive. And so she's not as aggressive first day pricing.
Yeah.
So
She wants to make it attractive enough the first day that you walk out with most of it instead of coming back on the third day.
that's right.
I got you.
That's why you do it.
But then the other lady she's probably not wrong. You can probably do the math, and if she sells more to 100%, it's the math probably works out. I don't know.
Right.
But it's pretty cool.
Very good. Yeah, very good.
So for a Halloween story, I had a scary moment yesterday.
Oh no.
So I'm out here and I'm listening to a printer, and Joni comes walking out here with an arm full of stuff. My lovely wife comes out here. So if you guys are new to the channel, we've been together 35 years. We met in 1988, got married in 91. We've been together a long time. And she has no interest in reselling. None. She brings all the stuff out here, and I'm sitting here thinking, what I preach from the word go is if you don't like something, you have a hard time listening. Yes. And so she's bringing out expensive purses and shoes, and I'm like, man, I hate that kind of stuff. I will list it because that box is full of shoes that I got to get listed. And I'm like, you know what? They're money, and I need to do it, but just don't want to. And she leaves and comes back with another armful. I'm like, oh my God. I'm sitting here thinking. And then she says words that would scare the living daylights out of anybody. She said, where's the chair? I need to sit down so I can take pictures. She listed her own stuff. I like to have a stroke.
Seriously.
So she listed half of it, and she's listing half of it tomorrow.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting. That was very scary. I mean,
yeah.
I was very happy.
Well, you don't have to list it that way, but
I was told I can't. They were Tory Burch shoes. Don't take less than 100. I wore them twice. I'm like, well, how much did I pay for them that you only wore them twice? And she wouldn't answer that question.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. She knows what she's got. Dang it. She knows what they're worth. She knows what they're worth.
Yeah, and another purse. There's I think a Kate Spade purse that's still in this bag, and she listed all kinds of stuff, but that's fine. She's trying to clean out some of her closet, and donating to the cause, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
So, have y'all made it to y'all's estate sale yet, or was that today?
We didn't go. I ended up playing with some toys. I call them toys, projects in the garage instead. So that's what we did. Mary worked on something else, but I was in the garage working on some turntables and things that I have acquired over the years. I found a pretty rare one though, which is kind of interesting. It was one that hangs on the wall. It was a blow mold. It's a novelty turntable blow mold created by an engineer. I might have a picture of it. That I started to play with just to see if I could get it to work. Yeah, I do have a picture of it. Hold on. Is it going to flip? Flip. Or not. Anyway, I'll hold it up. I don't know if you can see it, but that hangs on the wall.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
And it works. It was dirty and in bad shape, and I took it apart and it was making some noise, so I cleaned it up a bit, and it works fine. So now I'm gonna do a video on it because have you seen the banana ones that are out there?
I have not.
Okay, let me pull back here a minute.
So Jay, did you ever start selling printers?
I mean, I've sold a few printers, but not a lot.
Because I found a model, and I've told people this model. It's the 3080, an HP 3080. I don't know why it sells and why it's so popular. I just don't know. And so I had one, and I had it listed for 175, and I'm like, why is this thing not sold in 2 weeks? They sell in 24 hours. And I lowered the price down to 162, and it sold. And so I stuck the ink in the next one. It sold. So now I've got two. I mean, that is a model. I don't know why that model sells so well.
I like it.
And then I ordered ink for the third one because I had three of them. So.
But you don't have to worry about those cannons behind you. They're all brand new in box, right?
Yeah, the boxes they got writing on them. A couple of them. One of them says it's missing the the print head. But I'm like, I took it apart. I'm like, the print head's sitting there. This thing is still all taped up and everything. It was never used, so they must have had. It was at a church. They must have had multiple printers, and these got stuck back in older boxes.
Maybe
Because both boxes say missing print head, and I'm like, am I crazy? The print heads are in both these, and I went and looked on eBay what the print head looks like. And I'm like, it's what holds the ink. That's the freaking print head, and so it's there. So
there you go.
Yeah, I really don't run across a lot of printers, to be honest. I just don't. I mean, I'm not against it. I just don't run across them. I've got one brother that I got for $10, and that's my backup. And then I've sold a few, but not a lot.
yeah, it's but that model for some reason I don't know why, and it's just some. There's nothing special about it. It's just the printer. I don't know why it sells so fast. And there's another one waiting on ink right there. That's what it looks like. It's the kind of bubbly looking one. That's it.
Yep.
Well, you got the ones that the consumer just likes, you know?
Yeah.
And
See, I think this one is not, Jeremy. This one's not business class. This one's just a consumer printer. So I think the key, I don't know where I was talking to. Maybe it was Wednesday. Maybe it was this morning or on Todd's show. And I think it's a lot of success if you can find items like that, especially electronics like Don and I sell, and Jacob sells. He likes electronics. He's a very good electronic. It's people get so used to the same thing. You know, they've got that printer. They don't want to learn a new one. They know how this one works, and they just want that printer. They want that whatever back. And if you can find products like this that constantly sell, it's falsehood finders. I thought I blocked you, Dylan.
Got a new account.
It's like, God dang it.
There's the ones in capital letters this time.
Yeah, just because I'm not speaking on political terms anymore doesn't mean I've changed my mind. Doesn't mean I don't like anybody, because, you know, there's a lot of hate for people who are conservative like I do, and they accuse of a lot of things, and I'm like, you don't understand individuals. If I have to hate a certain group of people, where does that put me and my mother, who came out in the 70s? Come on now, let's be for real.
And I mean, I will say one thing. It's like, I've got a Canon.
Yeah.
That I've had for, I don't even know how long. It's ancient. It's so old that you can't put it on a network without having Windows XP.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
wow.
that old. So it's on my network, and I think I paid $10 and at a garage sale many, many years ago before I even did this. And when I was doing bins off and on, I got like mountains and mountains of ink for it. Well, now the print head's dying on it. What am I going to do? I have all the ink I'll ever use because it's a color printer we rarely use. I'm not going to replace it, so I am going to put a new print head in it. You know, it's the most logical and financially best thing to do. It won't ever die, I don't think. You know,
but that's the one thing I'll tell people is a nice thing about these 3080s is they are the older ones, so they have a black and then a multicolor one. You know, those are the most expensive way to print because there's so little ink in those things. But it's also every time you replace one, you replace the print head because the print head is built into those cartridges. And so that's why I buy every one of those without hesitating, because I know they're going to work. Because, you know, like the one there I tested last night, and I had to order ink for it. It printed a blank page. And I'm like, okay, the cartridges are done, and I put the other cartridges in my other machine, and it just starts printing.
Yep.
The one machine that I listened and sold last night, it had 500 pages printed. That was it. 500.
There's one ink cartridge gone. That's it.
500
Maybe
pages.
two. That's good though. Yeah, those you replace the ink on those, and it's new print head. You're good. You're good to go. So yeah.
But I'm trying to think of some scary reselling stories.
Yeah.
Folks, I've kind of changed direction in the way I teach and a lot of stuff that I talk about on the channel. And one of the things that I've tried to really talk about is is you control a lot of your environment. You know, if you don't surround yourself with negative people and you have a positive attitude and that kind of stuff, it becomes hard for me to remember the negative stuff because I let it go so fast. If returns bother you, if negative experiences bother you, you know, do I get mad when it comes back and throw it against the wall? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's on to whatever's next. You know, and so it's hard for me to come up with crazy negative stories because I have funny stories. I can tell you the story of of unboxing I finally decided I was going to join. A friend at the time told me, "Hey, you need a paper tape machine." And after consulting with the Jakester here, we found one that was an Amazon model. It had a dual machine that would so I could put eBay tape on one side and Amazon tape on the other, and then it would kick it out. And found one, ordered one at a great price. This dude could not. When I sent the message to him saying, "Hey, this thing arrived broken," he couldn't understand why. Why? Because he packed it with ceiling tiles and bed sheets.
I remember that. God,
he could not figure out how it arrived broken. Did you get ceiling tiles and bed sheets too? You did too, right?
I heard the story, but yeah, both of you guys, same guy.
Same guy, because he had a warehouse. He had like 8 or 10 of these machines.
And extra ceiling tiles, obviously.
They were this crushed to smithereens.
Oh my God.
Mine almost had no box left. It was almost out of the box. But mine worked. I've knock on wood, still haven't had any problems out of it. I still have it.
You got lucky.
Mine did not work. The whole top housing was smashed. Everything that was not metal was smashed.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, people. Make sure you're not using ceiling tiles as your packing material. Big thing there.
But that ends up being a funny story, and I got my money back or whatever, and ordered one.
He sent you another one, right?
And it came broken. The tank on it got broken.
Yeah, and then he's
2 for 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
I kept the only thing on the first one I kept was the tank, which I put on the second one, but yeah, and the lid was kind of cattywampus on it. So funny story. I decided I didn't want that machine anymore, so I ran it through our local auction, and nobody had any idea what it was. So Harlan bought that at the auction for $5, the minimum bid. So nice. Harlan sold it to Tracy. Do you have that machine? I think Tracy has that machine. He flips in the chat. I think he has it for. I gave Harlan a little bit of money for it, but
resellers selling to resellers. There you go.
But yeah, there's not. It's and I think that's the best way to be. I think if you're going to do this long term, you truly have to. You got to be about what's next. You got to be about taking care of it. Reselling is hard, folks. Everybody who's watching this, we appreciate you joining us on a Friday night. Reselling is hard. To do this full time and to make a living at it and to keep going, it's hard. And so, keeping that negative out and really keeping your mind straight and that kind of. One thing I can promise you is every platform is not perfect. Every platform is going to have problems. And, every platform is going to update and do new things. It's the people that survive are the ones that understand these things and take advantage. If the platform says to do this, get on board with it. The early adopters on platform changes win. People who continue to take care of customers. I mean, just think about every bad experience you've had in a fast food drive-thru. If you treated every employee like hell because somebody got your order wrong 6 weeks ago, Tracy said he has it, but he doesn't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Jen, I'll put Instigator up there just for you. So if y'all didn't see the show before, Jenna and John flipping ain't easy. They were showing all these coupons he had, all these food coupons. And I just put the comment up there. He went on a few food coupons if you cooked. And yeah, that like the start of World War. I thought they were going to get divorced right there. I thought I started World War III.
You're good at that. You really do know how to set people up for divorce, sir. I'm telling you. Every time.
Yeah, so I take for granted how blessed I am that. So Joni spent summers with her grandmother here in rural Alabama. When I say rural Alabama, it is a stop sign community, and God is my witness. Lick Skillet, Alabama. Lick Skillet, Alabama is the name of it. And
Nice.
And yeah, so her grandmother. So that's probably why I made up the 250 was eating all Johnny's food, but she has actually turned her evil ways into, like she'll figure out. So spaghetti's a great example. We had spaghetti Monday night because Tuesday night was wings. Johnny and Jacob eat spaghetti. I eat spaghetti. She makes spaghetti squash for the noodles, and so she'll alter whatever it is so that I'm able to stay on. Tracy knows where Lick Skillet is. I bet you do.
Lick Skillet, I love it.
Booger hole.
Yeah, it's a true place. That's where her grandparents lived. There used to be an auction there, Harlan. If he wasn't out, if he wasn't out with his new lady out, there used to be a big auction there that was, I think, every weekend.
Interesting names for Alabama. That's a good one.
So we have as many Indian names as you guys do.
In Michigan?
Like Tuscaloosa is an Indian name. There's all through here are all Indian names.
Yep.
Yeah,
we have a lot here.
Moundville, Alabama actually has some of the Indian mounds and stuff here.
Yep.
They're all through Mississippi, but there's some here in Alabama too. Tuscaloosa was actually the name of a famous Indian chief Tuscaloosa.
There is a Hell, Michigan, and there is a Climax, Michigan. Yes, you're right, James.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's a Hellhole, Michigan, but there you go. I don't know if there's a Whore, Michigan. I've never been to Whore, Michigan, but I'm sure it's an interesting place.
But with the one thing I can tell you is I've heard the drama that's gone on the last week and a half, and the one thing you got to tell yourself is how does that affect your life in any way? For most of us, that don't. So for the resellers that were buying from resellers and it did, I understand them in anger and need to do something about it. But whenever it can only distract me, and so I try to stay away from it. And so that's why I don't comment on it. I still try to do right by in it. And I don't always succeed. I'll be the first to tell you that I fail a lot, but I try to do right, and that's all I can do. I have a hard enough time controlling me.
Yeah, really. Well, do you want to invest your time in drama, or do you want to invest your time in making money, or taking care of your family, or doing whatever you have to do for your own life and happiness?
See, this is a scary story. I've told this story quite a few times. I ran fast food restaurants 25 years. Year and a half, 2 years, and this is a good thing you can do. I'm sitting in Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm reselling for the first 6 months. I'm doing eBay. I'm buying from yard sales. Yard sale season's over. There's only a couple of Goodwills there. There's now 4 or 5, and I'm like, what if I go to Raleigh? Raleigh's 2 hours away, and I can find 13 Goodwills. So that got me on this path of traveling, and so. Once a month I would go to all their Goodwills in a day and come back. And my mother said, "Hey, I want to go." I'm like, my mother, for y'all don't know, okay, she used to sell a little bit on eBay. Now she's just a hoarder. She doesn't.
Fine line. It's a fine line. Let me tell you.
She talks about selling, but that's it. She's not. And so she said, "I want to go with you."
All right. If you keep buying it, then you're just become the hoarder.
Mm-hmm.
On the way back, she says, "Can I tell you something?" I'm like, "Mother, why are you even asking me this question? You've known me longer than any person on this planet. You have free reign to say whatever you like." I lived across the street from Mother for like 12 years. And she said, "I'm so glad you're not at the restaurants anymore." I'm like, "Well, me too. We can agree on that." And she said, "Because you were angry all the time and you were the biggest asshole. I didn't know who the hell you were at times. The worse your life got, the worse." And so... And that's a great lesson for people to learn. I hope you don't have to learn it like I did the hard way, but you don't understand how that negativity and stress affects you and how you treat others until you're in the middle of it. And if you got somebody honest enough to say, "Hey, you're not the same person. You're acting bad. I appreciate my mother for having, for saying that. So that's why I avoid the negativity.
Yep.
Man, reselling is so much fun. I'm so blessed. Look at the wonderful people I've met on the internet. Are there a few losers? Okay, there are a few losers. They're everywhere. You can't avoid them. But there are so many wonderful people. The experience of just turning on the camera has been absolutely amazing for the last 12 years.
I agree.
What? Way more of a blessing. I get a lot of positivity out of it. And that's because I really feel that you get what you put out. And so I try.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I have a funny story, and we'll talk about shout out to the big girls because I've still got 7,000 pairs of 3X panties.
Shout out to the big girls. I tell you.
Your kids are going to be selling those when you pass, man.
Oh my God, they bought 7 pairs yesterday. So hey, that's a good.
So that means you'll only get 2 of them back.
Mm.
Yeah, I can speak.
They buy multiple, so I'm okay.
I can speak to the big girls out there. Big girls, read the measurements. That's all I'm saying. Just do it. Just don't think you're in a size 5 when you're definitely in a size 9. You know what I'm saying? Just own up to it. Buy the right size.
Sees what you wear anyway, right?
Buy the right size, honey.
In that department.
Exactly.
Be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself. Wear the right size. You don't want to chafe. You don't want anything like that happening.
See, I'm actually the other way around. My wife insists I wear X size and I buy bigger because I actually like baggy pants. And I'm like, I'm not going to fit. Well, I fit. Doesn't mean I want to wear them.
So, y'all want to know what that is? Don, you were there. You were there, Don. I was looking off the back. I was looking at the boat as the fireworks went off. I finished going off over Cincinnati with the Reseller rally. That right there. There you go, Jenna. There's your picture that got you an iPhone 15 right there.
Yeah.
So Miss Flippin' Ain't Easy is the camera on this phone is amazing.
It's a great phone, yeah.
And yeah, that's another one of the really good ones. The way it picked up all the colors on the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a beautiful boat ride.
There's the those are the pictures that got Jenna a new phone. So there you go.
Yeah. It's better than a camera nowadays. Those phones, half of them.
And
Samsung, iPhones, all of them have good cameras.
That new Samsung's gonna be crazy. The AI that it's gonna do is, I think, Jacob, are you gonna get the 24?
Probably.
He's as bad as I am about phones, and so that the AI that's coming with that phone is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a video creator, the one thing it's going to do is level up your ability to edit in phone.
Yeah.
So right now you can remove an object from a picture. Everybody's seen Google come out with the commercials where some creepy old man stalking your picture with a banana hammock on at the beach. You can wipe him out, right? He can be gone. But the thing is video, because so Dawn makes videos. Jacob used to make videos. And to move an object out of a video, you have to set up the parameters of the first picture it's in, and then kind of tell it where it is all through it to the last picture. Yeah. And to make it track to the scene in order to erase an item out of there. And it'll put a mask over it. It's not easy. I don't do it very much. I just leave it in there because whatever. It's too much work. So the S24 Ultra, you're going to be able to just like an object, and it's going to take it out for you on phone before you upload the video.
That's nice, yeah.
That is a game. Nice. I mean, that is a game changer to be able to take things out. Because a lot of times, you want to blur out a license plate. You want to not show somebody's face. It's going to take a lot of those things out and really make it where the average person can make a video that looks. They're still going to. Okay, so a lot of video stuff, you still got to be able. If you're going to be content creators, you got to tell a story. You got to come up with an idea. There's lots of things that go else, but the sheer making of a video where you can take things out and do things that up until now, if you didn't understand video editing, I can explain to you how to do it. That doesn't mean I can do one of those masks.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Yeah.
how to, and I've done it once or twice, but I couldn't do it again without watching another video to remind me how to do it.
True. And it takes forever to edit anyway, so a lot of people just don't bother.
Robert Bowman, the new Samsung coming out in January. That is the S24 Ultra. Will be able to do that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
Did
nice
they always say a January time frame? That's earlier than the normal February
Yeah,
March.
isn't it usually February?
February March.
They are shooting for like the between second third week of January. They're trying to get out. They're trying to push their cycle closer to. Because what's the problem? Okay, all you resellers out there, what's the problem of releasing the phone in February?
Christmas is over.
Yeah.
Christmas is over. One of the bigger phone selling and giving seasons is over, and so you get all the way to December next year. Do you want to give the S24 Ultra, or do you want to wait for the 25 that's coming out in February? And so you're kind of stuck. The iPhone is kind of perfect because it's come out in September, October. It's still really good in December. You got, so there's no wait, but so they're wanting over the next couple of years to slowly push it back, and so this is the first step. They're taking a month off of us.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
They're stepping it back. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Get that tax return money.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, because when I worked for it wasn't Verizon yet. Q4, man, just all the businesses that were burning up their budget.
Mm-hmm.
Just we did
So
so
that's
much.
another thought too. You've got all these businesses. That's a great thought that are looking at it and go. I mean, maybe not this year because of the economy is in the tank, but old Clark said the shitter's full. But yeah, you come in December and you're like, man, we pay taxes on this or spend another whatever. They make a lot of buying decisions.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it was our corporate accounts. I worked in a warehouse, and about half of our stuff was not just general consumers; they were corporate accounts, and so a lot of it was spending the budget, or they'd lose it the next year.
Right.
I've got X dollars. We all get phones. Done.
Yep.
And that was years ago. That was the late 90s. So there was always a new phone at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought about you the other day, Jay. Last Saturday, for $1 each, picked up a Stuttgart City mug and a Seoul, South Korea City mug, $1 each.
Really?
At a freaking yard sale.
Wow.
Well, there's one that you don't have the buy box on right now because yours is used and mine is new.
Yeah.
I'm the only one with new. Sorry, Scott.
Hey.
But it was probably one of those 40 that I bought at that yard sale. I bought like 27 at a yard sale for $40.
Yeah, I think it was a Dallas blueprint.
Yeah. I've got that's what.
Yeah,
I've got.
but I found 2 with UPC still on them.
I think mine may still have it, but I didn't know if it had a box or not, so I called it like new.
I don't think those did. Do you know, Jake?
Which version?
The blueprint.
This the old city mugs from like 12.
Are we talking
call them
about?
I was gonna pull one out for you.
He used to work. Jacob worked at Starbucks for how long, Jacob?
5 years. Is it the
No.
version before or after this, or no?
Before that one.
Yeah.
Before this one? No, it didn't have a box. No. The only ones that have boxes, with very rare exception, is all the Been There series had boxes. All the You Are Here series had boxes.
Right.
The
Yeah, I didn't have one. I was looking to see if I had one out here.
Icon series, I believe, had boxes but a lot of times they got thrown away. They didn't always get sold with retail boxes, but in theory they had boxes. The Icon series, Icon mugs.
Right. Those are the older. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Not sure if this one's the Icon or not. No.
I did change the photos though, because the ones on that Dallas mug were bad. Oh,
They're bad, yeah. All those are bad, and I don't have the ability to change like you do because I don't have your sales in that particular category.
Oh well, there's a
He
lot of
does.
Let's just say there's a lot of photos getting changed right now. I'm kind of moving more towards that.
You both do. You both have the ability to change Starbucks listings. I don't have that.
Somewhat. I can do some things.
I can't change titles though, which frustrates me.
I've been able to change some titles.
Have you?
Some.
I have one right now that says new release.
Ooh.
And I can't take it out.
Gotcha. I've got one that says acrylic in it, and it's a You Are Here series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget. Is it You Are? It's either a Been There series or a You Are Here series, and it says acrylic in the title. I'm like, that does not belong in there. It's a ceramic mug. It's not acrylic.
No,
I
but
don't remember which series this one belongs to. Do you remember off the top of your head, Jay?
I don't. That's
unless this is just because it's the first store here. It may not even be a series. I'm not.
So isn't it? Which ones are the icons? I thought the brown ones were the icons. No.
I'll be right back.
No.
Yeah. So now, what y'all
I
doing?
have to look that. I'm gonna have to look that back up.
What did y'all do on the weekend before Halloween? We nerded out on Starbucks. That was scary. Two guys knowing more about Starbucks mugs than anybody else.
These are still my favorites.
Yeah, and I don't find very many of those at all.
I resell them. I buy online and resell.
Right. I might be buying a lot on eBay right now. I might be buying more than I'm selling.
See, Reagan talks a lot about this, and I don't think it gets enough. So there's a lot of resellers out there. And the first thing they'll tell you is, "There's nothing in my area." I get tired of hearing that. There's nothing. You haven't learned your area to understand what's there. There's something there. You just don't know where it is. And but everybody has the internet. If you have an eBay and an Amazon account, you have the ability to find items to sell on one, buy on one, and sell to the other. Reagan is selling $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a month from buying from one and selling to the other. Okay, so your profit margins are not going to be as good as if you go to yard sale tomorrow with me and we buy scanners for $10. But it's still 30 to 50%. It's still very reasonable. Unless you sell on Amazon, a lot of people that this channel does have a lot of Amazon sellers, but if you're a heavy eBay seller, I challenge you to look at this printer is a good this scanner is a good example. So the scanner, I know it's $228. I looked it up on Amazon on the way home. Best offer, $132. Free shipping. $127, free shipping. $99 or best offer, free shipping. So there's opportunity. So I challenge you over the next little while, especially in January when people are trying to get rid of stuff. Think about the times when people are trying to get rid of stuff. So, and I kind of try to look at things different. When you see a lot of sellers who have said April is the Armageddon on eBay, and we have had trouble selling stuff. So y'all gonna be mad at me because I'm not mad at Ghost Guy for the way he prices estate sales, because I'm gonna tell you the same thing. You've got all these people on eBay, and we are now 5 or 6 months down the road. Do you start buying from them because they've reduced their prices and they've got best offer, and you can get a little more off of it in order to sell it on another platform?
And so I'll say what I'm doing right now real quick. Basically, primarily garage sales. And then that sold fast. That was a lot of money. Wonder if I get more. Oh, hey, look. That 110. So I have a DVD set that was in a box with a Bose Wave radio. Oh, darn. For $20. But that's a whole nother story. The DVD set sold for $90 used. And then I went and looked. Oh, wait, there's brand new ones for $17 on Mercari, $20 on eBay. I have the buy box at $119 right now, and I'm the only guy. I know it's going to sell.
Yep.
If you don't hear anything else I say tonight, I am an oddball. You as a reseller are an oddball. You will look at different platforms. Mm-hmm. A customer, if they are an Amazon customer, 99.9% of the time they don't buy on eBay. If they are an eBay customer, 99.9% of the time they don't go look at Amazon. These platforms have customers that have got tunnel vision, and so how do you take advantage of the market? This is not taking advantage of the customer. People go, oh, but I don't want them to pay too much. It's tunnel vision for the customer. You need to take advantage of the market. The market, that's what the arbitrage is. Remember, arbitrage is movement from one market to another. Doesn't mean it has to be from a retail store to online. It can be from online to online. You're in completely different marketplaces because the customer base for an eBay and an Amazon and Mercari, if somebody shops on Mercari, they don't shop on Amazon. I can promise you that. I don't even know anybody who shops on Mercari personally.
Yeah,
well, I know Jay. Jay shops on Mercari because
I don't know. I've only bought 2 things ever on Mercari, and this is one of them because the other one that was a gift from my daughter for Christmas was on the top of my truck when I left the yard at work. So I needed to replace it, and I did pay up. So
Amazon said, I'm going to tell you my theory. I've talked about it a lot. I'm going to tell you my theory about eBay. So eBay, does the platform have some responsibility for their slump in sales? Absolutely they do. They've changed a lot. They have altered so I don't think their search is broken. A lot of people will tell you their search is broken. But I'm going to tell you what is broken. Is there's a lot of new sellers in the last 3 to 4 years who have come on the platform. You don't believe me? I went to a reseller rally, met Dawn there in person. There were 200 or 300 people there in the room, and they said, okay, how many were here at the last reseller rally, which was 2 years ago? I was not there. I didn't raise my hand, but there was lots of people raise their hand. They said, all right, here's a good one. Who was at the first reseller rally in Chicago in 2017? I raised my hand. One of the goats, Craigslist Hunter, raised his hand because he was one of the head guideliner, and John Cincinnati Picker. We were the only 3 in the whole damn room that were at that one. And so that really tells me that there's so many of these, COVID created a lot of resellers. Jobs were being taken away. People needed money. They were at home. And everything sold. Now you got buyers that have got free money, and because the government was giving them free money and they were paying them not to work. So money was being spent online. You didn't have to learn how to sell because most things would sell. People would buy them. But as the economy has tightened up, and as there still continues to be more resellers, and now the platform is saying, hey, we're changing directions. Our search engine we're telling you do item specifics. We're telling you to do these things because we're going to go through a sell-through model as the main search criteria versus the older model, because we actually want to push things to people that sell, that people buy, and give more of a buying chance to items that are seen. You've got so many sellers who don't know how to sell, and their answer to item specifics is, well, I don't want to give eBay any more information. I've heard this from influencers. I don't want to give eBay any more information because I'm not building their catalog for them. Has everybody heard that? I've heard that until I'm blue in the face. And now you hear these same people going, well, my sales suck and I can't be found in search. Well, eBay said, put the item specifics in, because every time you put one in, it says this many searches you're added to. I'm going to put all the required. I'm going to put the recommended. I'm going to put everyone I know in there. I'm going to fill out as much as I can and take the extra 2 minutes if I have to stick it in Bard to give me the even more stuff, because there's an AI engine that's up to date.
I'll give you one other thing too that I seem to run into a little bit once in a while. Not so much since I diminished my variety, but I think one of the things that's happening is the similarity concept that eBay is now using, similar listings. I think it doesn't matter as much if the same thing is being sold by two different people, especially if they're using the same title. I think eBay is going to choose which one to show. So if you're copying somebody's listing exactly, eBay is often choosing which one to show instead of showing them both.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was Josh who was talking about that he had the person who was a programmer talk to him, and it was really, it's like from a 0 to a 1 rating, and every account has a rating based on, you know, your shipping performance, all your metrics that they track. And so if you're a higher ranked seller than the other seller, I think you're 100% right. I think that other seller will outrank you. So they're the ones. I also think it's going to be location based too, and because one of the worst things about eBay is shipping. I don't know why eBay allows this. I'll buy something from somebody, and why does it take 10, 11 days to get here when I can go on Amazon and it's here? But because Amazon sellers will sell faster because they're required to do that. It's, you know, I was looking for ink yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And they were coming from California, and it was saying it could be up to November 10th. I'm like, oh my God, who would ever order this knowing that you could have to wait freaking 2 weeks for ink?
Might as well get it from China.
Yeah.
So
seriously.
I searched through and found the combination of a price was in the range of the lower prices, but it was also one that it's going to be here Tuesday.
Yeah.
The drop dead date was Tuesday.
And Scott and I were looking at something that I was selling on eBay. It is very location based, because like I was significantly higher, if I remember right, and I was seeing my listing in my area in incognito mode,
Right.
and he was seeing somebody else that was right near him in his state.
Yep.
So even though the customer's not telling eBay to go by location, it still is.
So James, it is sometimes because they are importing and then sending me. I think you're 100% correct. But there's also a group of sellers out there that every one of you bought them from me. If you bought on eBay, you'll buy something, you'll get tracking within like 3 hours. And then if you look at it, it doesn't make a post office for the next 5 to 6 days.
Yeah.
And there are larger businesses that have no business on these online platforms because they can't live up to the shipping. But eBay gives them credit for, they got me a tracking number, and they've put this crazy shipping number out there, so they get credit for shipping on time. Because that's how they get away with not getting it scanned. Is, remember the qualifications. If you don't get an item scanned on time, as long as you meet the end date, eBay doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you put it out there, that's going to be 2 weeks. You can take your sweet time. That's not the important. That's a company that's too large, and is.
And I had one that frustrated me. It was a local seller, and I don't remember even what it was. It was 6 months ago. It took him 4 days to generate a label, and he was only 30 minutes away. And then 2 days to get it to the post office on a Saturday. So it's like, I'm into this thing like 7 days.
Yep.
And I'm like, you're 30 minutes here. I should have had it within 1 to 3 days.
Dude, I will drive there faster than you can get this in the mail.
Yeah.
I had an eBay bookseller take 15 days to get me a book. 15 days.
But there's other ones too. There's great sellers too. I mean, I've had one that, one of them, I said, hey, I want 15 of the items you have for sale. Do you want me to come pick them up? Yeah. I'll meet you in person. You're literally 30 minutes from my house. And he couldn't figure it out. He said, just go ahead and buy them. Well, then he turned around and they had shipping on them. He refunded shipping on like 12 of them. I'm like, whoa, you didn't have to do that.
So James, if you're right, and you're 100% correct, but I'm telling you, eBay shouldn't allow it. I'm telling you, because, okay, so we've got customers out there. I'm different. I get it. I'm looking at all these things. But how many of your normal customers are looking for an item? They look at the first picture. They don't read the description. They don't look at anything else. And they, so if they're not going to look at the description or anything else, do you think they're looking at the estimated shipping arrival? you're negatively impacting a customer because you're allowing that kind of time.
So
Amazon understands that. How do you think they got such a foothold? Prime, you don't get 2 days it's on some items you do, but a lot of items you don't. Is sometimes 3 days, 4 days. But they put it in so many customers' heads that they can get into 2 days, that you disappoint any customers who.
And then it affects all eBay sellers, because then they're like, well, I ain't buying anything on eBay because they don't ship, fast enough, or,
So James says not everybody is full time and they can't ship daily. Well, then go do something else. That's not my problem. I mean, I'm just going to draw a hard line. That's not. So because you can't meet the standards that should be met, we should make I don't give out participation trophies and that kind of stuff. If you can't live up to the standards, you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I was part-time before I went full-time, and I ship daily.
Yeah, I do too. My wife does most of my shipping, but we ship daily.
Yeah, you're talking to two people here. So Jacob is a part-time seller. Full-time slumlord, part-time seller.
There you go.
And y'all folks know I kid Jacob.
You'll wait 2 weeks for a fridge for him, but you won't.
He's a property manager all day. Jay has a full. Jay's a real working man.
I work 50 to 60 hours a week on my normal job. Which, by the way, Scott, I'll say something later, but January 1st might be different. Let's just say my employer decided that we need to start paying for health insurance. I'll admit,
ouch.
I have a very good thing. My employer picks up the tab for my whole family. That's why I'm here. But starting January 1st, it's going to be $13,200 annually, which works out to $6.25 an hour.
Yeesh.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
See, James, I knew you were on the wrong side of that argument, because there's all these sellers that are part-time.
Boom, 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 boom.
I knew I could get the chat on my side.
There you go.
And see, the other thing too is I actually ship up until about 4:30, because we go to the post office at that point and have usually picking up a kid. That's our run. So if something comes in at 4:00 and we're leaving at 4:30 and it clears, I'll still ship it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's lots of things you can do. If you're listing, go ahead and pre-pack these things. There's lots of things you can do as a part-time, if your time is limited, that speeds you up.
Mm-hmm. And I get that. Life happens, right? Stuff happens in your life that is going to affect how well you can run your business. If you're doing this part-time or full-time, it adjust. If something happens, get in there, change your delivery time, change stuff up, put your store on time away, whatever it takes to keep that, keep it good. But don't just let it go and think it'll take care of itself, because it won't. It'll affect your store, and it'll affect your profit. So.
And the other thing too is I have my ship settings set really, really tight. And because they are so tight, I win the buy box on Amazon FBM so much more. Mm-hmm. I have one right now that the guy has a repricer for a penny under, and no matter what, he never gets it. And it's because of my ship settings. And I'm just super tight, and it's still always first class. Mm-hmm. So I'm good.
So I think the one lesson, especially with a part-timer, is you need to be an expert on the rules and an expert on you truly need to, if your time and that kind of stuff is limited, you need to figure out the things that you can do that best meet customers' expectations and meet your life expectations.
Yeah.
And because each platform has wiggle room. I do 2-day shipping on both platforms, or actually every platform, just because if I get busy and the time runs out, I ship most days 1 day.
Yep.
But
yeah,
I will miss just because.
Yeah, but for me, I mean, there's two of us, so there's always someone that can. I mean, I backfill, she backfills. It's not a big deal. It's just
That
it
does
just
help.
it works for us, so I'm happy with it.
So that was one of the. So even if you have to make big changes, so I got the video to come out tomorrow about me rearranging this building. As you guys know, I took out everything, filled up a 10 by 20 storage building to get all the inventory out of here, except for most of the stuff's listed, except for this shelf back here. But the problem is if something happened, I need to go do something. Joni would say, Jake, when I'll ship, no problem. We can do whatever. Just tell us. But the building was always such a disaster. The shipping area, I would have to clean an area just to ship. I mean, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm organizing the storage building now. That's my project for Monday and Tuesday. Well, Monday after shipping, it's probably going to be Tuesday and Wednesday, is to get that to where they can just walk over there to a bin and pull these things, and then come back here to an area that's got a clean shipping. All the boxes are in one place. Everything is, so it's not on me to. So I challenge you. There's things that you can do and take advantage of in order to do these. And did I like spending? I mean, that day like to kill me. I walked 18,000 steps that day. It was the next day. I felt my 54 years.
Yeah,
I really did, and had to be done though. And then I appreciate Jovial Juggler. She was in here earlier, sending me some emails about she's a person that's very organized and does and sent me some encouragement, sent me some ideas, and talked about flow and so after I moved everything out and thought of how I set it up, I'm like, this is wrong. This is still crazy flow didn't work. So I moved everything, and even then I'm like, yeah, the shipping is still backwards. So you'll see in the video the original setup, and then you'll see them in the second part of it. You go, wait a minute, he's moved stuff around again.
Yeah. Well, you got to figure out what works for you, right?
After I used it the first time, I'm like, I'm doing a lot of walking back and forth, and the printing, even though the shipping is going the other way now, it's all one direction. It's, Jovia, she's still here, so there's lots of things you can do to speed yourself up and take care of your business.
Yeah, if you take a look at it, if you take a breath and take a look at what you're doing, figure out where you're wasting your time. There's always a way to refine your processes and make them better, make them speedier, and help yourself out. And sometimes you just have to flush everything and start over. Like what you're doing, Scott, is basically just kind of realigning everything and setting it up like your first time doing it. But this time you know what you're doing. This time you know what works and what doesn't. So it's going to make it better.
Depends on who you ask.
Theoretically. Theoretically.
I guarantee that if it was my office and I didn't share it with my wife, it would probably look like this right here. This stack. But I know better than to let the desk ever get like that, or I will hear about it. Mm-hmm. So it stays clean, it's functional, and it works. And it works well because it stays clean. And it's
the next thing is to make the office inside the house somewhere I can make talking head videos where you see a nice little setup or whatever. That's the next step. Joni's in charge of designing that.
That'll be fun. I can't wait to see that. Because I have nothing like that. This is the upstairs office, and the downstairs office is what it looks like. So I don't think I could do that, but yeah.
And we bought this, and so that's another thing. We bought this house knowing that it had enough room. This neighborhood, I think 25% of the houses have a second garage. There's not many neighborhoods like it around here. So I knew that we bought the house in July, and this broke ground on this in I think middle of November. So we knew we were going to build this on it, because if you've ever, you guys know, most people know, you live in the house with your inventory, it just causes problems. Mm-hmm. Unless you can do like you guys do and have a basement and close it off.
Yeah, that helps.
But this is the South. There's no basements. There are basements, but not traditionally like Michigan, because the water table is so high here, and so it makes it very difficult. And so I knew building this building was going to be done. I should have been smart enough to build it bigger, because I knew when they poured the concrete pad, I'm like, oh shit, this is too small. I knew when they poured the pad, it was too small.
And that's where I'm at now. Is the shop is what's next, and I'm trying to decide how big do I build it.
So this is a standard 2-car garage. It's 20 by 25. You gotta go.
Oh no, yeah, I'll be bigger.
There
I'll
we go.
probably be 30 something by 40 with a loft.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're actually, Johnny's really obsessed right now with barn dominiums. That would be the true answer.
Oh yeah,
That would be.
that'd be nice.
Hey, I'll be right back. I have to go pick a kid up from work. I'll be back in like 15-20 minutes.
Right. I hope he's not too heavy. I hope he's not too heavy.
Joni carries the business. We know. Yeah, it's all Joni. You're absolutely right.
And that whip.
All right. The one that's in there asleep. Hey, that's Johnny. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sitting there.
Same with Mary. Same thing. Yeah.
I'm texting her. I'm like, "What's this damn knife?" Because I thought, because Miss Chef in there, I thought she would know it tonight. And 3 texts, she never answered, and she answers always immediately. And I'm like, so I called her. I'm like, I was almost asleep. That's why I was ignoring you. I'm like,
Yeah.
what kind of knife is this? I don't know.
She's like, the kind I'm going to kill you with if you keep waking me up. That's probably what it is. It's a knife I'll be using. Yeah.
Yeah, White Earth. The building, you got to go. Too small is a bad thing.
Yeah. Unless you're selling a bunch of smalls, but like you and I we're printers, electronics, boom
Look at
boxes.
Look at
Good
this one
God.
stack here.
Yeah. There's just way too much going on. Way too many.
But then
multiple
you
sizes.
just got to get creative, and I did not do that, and I suffered for too. Because the one thing I can tell you, if your space gets overwhelmed, it gets very difficult to work. Your mind, motivation, and stuff, and it was hard to come out here and to think, man, I've got to clean the space just to ship, and then as immediately as you finish shipping it and you start listening, that space goes right back to. I mean, I don't know why it took so long. I should have done this a couple of years ago.
Just keep it up, get it done, and you'll be much happier for it, I'm sure.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah, I'm dealing with the same thing out in the garage. We're trying to get that somewhat organized, and it's just like I'm finding it's like a slidey puzzle is what I can think of. Where the one where you got one empty tile over here and you slide around to get things moved.
Yeah.
That's what my garage is like. So I was out there this weekend sliding things around and finding stuff I didn't know I had. I'm like, oh, hey, look at all this.
Yeah, so Jovi Juggler. I asked Johnny's opinion, and she's like, "Oh, I wouldn't move the desk, this and that." I'm like, "Okay, you can go back inside now."
well,
because this was to put the desk on this side was not the easy, because the internet comes into the other side, so that means I had to take it was like 1:00 in the morning. I'm up in the attic laying on the insulation to try to feed the line back down this side.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I couldn't feed it down through all the stuff. So there's just a hole in the ceiling. So I dropped it straight down. But that meant, this TV's mounted on the wall, which is the monitor for this side. So all that had to come down. I mean, it was a big decision and I tried my best to figure out how to do it without turning it around. And there was,
you just can't sometimes.
no, it to put the shipping on the wall by itself meant moving the desk.
Yep.
And there was no way around it. And it's just, and then it was her idea. Joby just said, put some shelves, the intake shelves and stuff. That was.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Jake looks pretty organized. Look at all this. Look at all that behind him. He's got his mugs.
That's a shipping container that he has.
There you go.
A big Connex that he's converted. Well, that's half of it. So there's an answer for everything. Yeah, Brenda. There's been several people that have offered to come set up. I actually have friends on the other side of town who run an inventory. They have an inventory app and they wanted to come do it. And I was supposed to let them know, and when I put out a video tomorrow, I guess they'll figure out I did it.
Oops.
It's hard to give somebody else control where things go, and sometimes it's just impossible.
Oh yeah.
You realize I live in Alabama, and there's not really tons of cold days. That door. So see, I have to go the opposite. It's the hot. It's the heat. That door is insulated. You can see it from here. When they put the door in, I had to put an insulated door in for sound and for heat and cold. And man, please, yard sales the other day.
Found a heater.
$10.
$10. Radiator heater. Those are nice.
The radiator heater. Yeah.
Yeah.
On this side, plus there's the whole building is insulated like a house, and all the walls, the ceiling, so it temperature doesn't fluctuate much out here. And there's the in-wall AC unit over there. It does fine.
Yeah, you got a newer house. We've got a 1960s ranch, and the garage is not insulated at all. It's got an old wooden door, and it's like there's no way I could work out there in the wintertime. Not in the dead of winter. So.
Yeah, this house was built in 07, and the building was built in 17.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
And I have a heater in the basement. It gets cold in the basement just from cold air settling, and so yeah, we run a heater in the wintertime there for sure. But there's no way I'd be in the garage.
Yeah, Todd, that's a good thing. So I took my whole eBay store down 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing. You just have to. I was tired of not knowing what was and what wasn't. Oh wow, Kent! Thanks for that news. Kent said the guy in Maine was found unalived. Nice. I'm assuming he probably did it to himself.
Gonna happen to a nicer guy.
So she lived in Alabama too. It still gets. Remember, this is year 6 or 7 out here, so it doesn't. Mm-hmm. The temperature doesn't. The one nice thing it does. So I would tell you the opposite. So sitting over there under it, you either got blasted with the air or blasted with the heat. So the whole building will be the same temperature, but you were always in a windstorm on that side so at least over here, I'll be with the more of a regulated temperature. It might be a touch hotter or a touch cooler over here, but you're not constantly,
Yeah, and you can always put a fan in if you want to, right?
Yeah.
Move the air around a little bit. You're good. The family room door.
But yeah, he's got a Connex that's a refrigerator unit, so it was insulated anyway. And
that's nice.
There's an answer to every, and that's a key in life and a key in reselling. There's a solution to your problem. There's a solution to the low sales. There's a solution to all these things. It's can you think logically and outside the box sometimes. One of the things that I have preached since I've been on the tubes here is you are the 5 or 6 people that you spend your time with and surround is who you are. And so do you have people around that you can ask these questions and people that are be honest with you and say, hey, I think you should do this, or,
mm-hmm.
Find those people to put in your life that you can be a great example for and be a source of information, and they can do the same thing. It would be multiply your skills by.
Yep. And, keep positive people in your life too, because there's always people out there that want to see you fail, and they'll just help you. Yeah. They'll help you fail.
And a lot of times they don't really mean to, but it's just the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the, so we sing our Christian singing group, Casting Crowns, and they, there's a song they do is a slow fade is the name of the song. And it's true with everything. Most things in your life happen at such a gradual fade that you don't feel yourself, and I think that's caught up with a lot of resellers, especially here
mm-hmm.
now that things have changed. They don't realize that they have allowed, their list. I saw somebody who had a ton of views on a channel. I can't even think of the guy's name, but it was, I can list 100 things in an hour. And I'm like sitting here thinking, yikes. I bet he didn't sell any of them, because there's no way you can spend any amount of time making quality versus quantity. And for a search engine that is getting more and more specific about every item, how are people going to find it if you just blast through items and don't take your time? I would rather make a few dollars more per item and slow down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I see everybody messes the barcodes now. It's like, I mean,
Oh yeah.
I know if I'm looking for stuff to buy on eBay, I'm usually searching by barcode, and
Yeah.
like if people don't put that in there, you're not gonna make my sale.
And it's not that hard. Get a scanner. They're cheap.
Yep.
You know, plug a USB scanner, right? If you don't want to use a Bluetooth one, just get a USB scanner like they use, you know, whatever.
Or just use your phone.
Or yeah, that too. Use your phone if you're using your phone, or just learn how to 10 key. Good God, it doesn't take that long to learn to teach yourself how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm self-taught. I just sit here and plug in numbers real fast. So it's not like you have to hunt and peck on the top row.
I'm self-taught too.
Like this.
Yeah, trigger.
This
I got
scanner.
2 fingers at least.
Yep. It can be done.
Pingy Pattern's got a barcode scanner. These things are like $12 to $14. I found one at a yard sale. I've found Bluetooth scanners at yard sales. The one that's in my car right now, the one I carry in the van,
Those are cheap.
I got it at a yard sale. It was like $5 at a yard sale.
This one was at a Radio Shack closeout.
Yeah, I found one at a Amazon bin place for $1. I bought that sucker up real quick. It's handy as hell. You can find them almost anywhere.
I can sell that one for $100 anytime. It still is like an incredibly expensive one now, but it was thrown in with some stuff at a Radio Shack closeout. I'm like, because I looked it up like a few weeks ago, and it's a Honeywell. So it's one of the name brand
nicer ones, yeah.
Oh yeah, and it comes with a stand. It's USB. I could still sell it for like about $100.
See, my challenge, and I think the one thing that will help you as a reseller succeed, and I truly wholeheartedly believe this, is it's the same thing, that the same philosophy. If you're outsourcing, you have no problem going the extra mile. You have no problem doing more, working harder, doing what other people won't do. Why do we not think the same thing about the listing part? Are you willing to do what others aren't do to get the results that others don't get?
Yep.
It's the same philosophy. We just don't carry it through to the other side. And
the barcode will make a difference too, as far as Google search goes, because it will put you in the Google products for Google shopping or whatever it is.
Yep.
And I've heard a lot of people say they don't get Google traffic, but I'm telling you, and I heard somebody say this, and I can't take credit for it. I just believe it. Is a lot of the guest checkouts you get are from Google searches. I believe that. Because if you've got somebody who's looking for it on eBay and through eBay, they're going to have an account. But every time you get that no feedback, one feedback guest account, it is somebody who is. And so,
I believe it.
Are you doing the things that the Google, and it's not anything that's a secret. Google, to be optimized in Google search, is just doing the basics. It's a white background picture. It's a barcode. It's certain
model numbers. Using enough pictures.
Yeah. You get a lot of pictures now with eBay. You should use as many as you think is right. I mean, get all the sides of it.
There is a simple way to find out if you're optimized or not. Open a Bonanza account, drag all your stuff over there, and Bonanza will tell you on all your listings how many of them. I have 26 I need to fix that are not optimized for Google. 26. Yep.
And it isn't that. I was going to say, it isn't that hard to go through your existing listings, because eBay will tell you, you've got stuff that needs to have information added. And just if you're sitting there having coffee or, watching YouTube or something, just go through those listings one at a time. And then if you think you've got enough in it, tell it to, not remind you again for that one, and it turns it off and you'll never see it again unless you go looking for it. But you can add information to the stuff you already have out there. And it's something you can do while you're sitting there having toast in the morning.
Yeah, the picture is one I don't get. How many people list with one picture? I mean, that was that one person that was doing 100 at a time, was putting one to two pictures max.
One picture.
I take pictures. This is a good example. Most people will know what this is, but remember, it's got words on the side. So I took a picture half here and a half here, so when they blew it up, they could see it. The same thing here. It's got words on the bottom, and so show them all these things. Open the little thing up, show them that. They don't answer any. If they've got questions, they don't answer. But So Jacob is listed. I think we got about 120 remotes listed right now. And so how do you take multiple pictures of this? Well, if I'm buying a remote, the one thing I want to see is I want to see inside the battery department. I want to see if it's got corrosion, front, back. You can take a picture of, and then the inside, and then there's 3. And then if you want to take a picture of the end or from the side, whatever. I think 4 is. I think eBay Optimal is 4. They're looking for at least 4 pictures.
Yeah.
They didn't say they had to be 4 identical. They didn't say they had to be 4 super great. Your first one needs to be wonderful, but the rest of them, you're conveying information.
Yeah. Kent says always check the battery department or compartment. Yes. Yeah, for sure. On remotes.
I do not have any peer review.
Yeah. Speak of the devil. Here he is.
I saw that as I walked down. Why is everyone so concerned about me?
I hope you didn't herniate yourself by picking up your kid. I'm sure that was it.
Although I have 3 boys that are all not driving yet, but permitted.
Oh, yikes.
So the one wanted to drive to pick the other one up. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Here we go.
So Brenda, the one thing I tell you is a little difficult to sell Apparel and sanitizer is with the craziness that happened with COVID. Most resellers I know don't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention it's everywhere. It's at every thrift store. I mean, there's tons of thrift stores you can buy a case of sanitizer. It's been donated everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that would Amazon $0.99. That's an exception. If it's a brand new DVD, I do too. I'll do the front and the back because it's sealed.
Yeah, there's not much more you can do with that.
But other than that, but if it's a used one, I will take it open and take pictures of the inside. So, but you're 100% correct. I do the same thing.
I'm not gonna. You're not gonna open up a new one for sure.
But I guess if you wanted to, and if you really wanted to see if you could take advantage of it, you could take a picture of it because there's going to be writing on the back. So you could take a half picture on the back, take a picture of the barcode. I mean, you can invent things to take a picture of. I mean.
Yeah, and if you're using a good camera, you don't necessarily need to take a half and half shot because you'll have enough information in it to blow it up to read it. So, at least on DVDs.
You can't say that if you need sanitizer, his Habitat for Humanity will fill your car.
Yeah, a lot of places have it.
Not allergic to it. Yeah, I don't. You'd be amazed how many times the battery departments are. And I never send anything with batteries because you never can tell what happened to the batteries. Except for the little tablet looking batteries. If it has that in it, I will leave those in. But
yeah.
But other than that, I had somebody tell me the other day that they wouldn't left me neutral feedback that they wouldn't have ordered it if they knew it didn't have a battery. And I'm sitting here thinking, I changed it out to a brand new 2032 before I shipped it. I'm like, I never respond to feedback, and I put on there. I put a brand new battery in that because one thing you know with remotes is remotes are easy to test. All you do is put the batteries in and show it at your camera. You see the little lights on your cell phone. Mm-hmm. So I test every one before I send them out just to make sure. So this one worked. It had a brand new battery, and I sent it out. Somebody didn't have a battery. I'm like, what's wrong with these people? Everything was brand new.
I don't know.
And remotes, it's amazing. You want some extra things that actually move. Yeah, at yard sales and stuff, remotes are a quarter, 50 cents, $1. If they are brand names, Sony sells. I told y'all that Sony remotes sell, Panasonic. Even there's lots of Magnavoxes that sell. There's lots of remotes that people do. The funkier, the better. There's some of them. True. You know, I got some crazy remotes. There's one over there now. It's with a machine, but if the machine doesn't work, the remote's worth
more than what you paid for the machine. I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's for a Sony mini disc. The remote for a mini disc.
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
And
Nick said that even for a still movie, it takes 6 sides, to show them that it's.
Oop.
All right, Jenna, are you still here? You can tell Johnny's off the hook. Hot Wheels.
No, that's cool.
This is the one. So this is for actually. I knew I had this, but I hadn't seen it in a while. It was under the desk when I moved the desk. The little red line was under the. It rolled off the desk. It was under the desk, so it was $12.50 plus. Paid a quarter for it, so I got $22 shipped. And the other car that was under there with it was the Mustang Stalker from 1974, nice. The white one, which I got it listed for $100. It was under the desk.
Well, that's the best place to get your Hot Wheels is under the desk.
Yeah, under the desk. It was amazing.
Finding stuff all around. You probably got money laying around under your desk all over the place down there.
It was just like you did. I found a lot of stuff when I moved. I'm like,
it's amazing. You don't even realize you don't have it anymore. You have it. I found a whole box or a whole tote of action figures. I'm like, geez, when did these come in?
So to get the silver shelves in here, they were in one of the other storage buildings, and they were covered in bins, and I'm like, so it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shelves. So there were 18 bins on it. Mm-hmm. 14 of those bins were video game stuff. I'm like, I think I need to list video game stuff for a while. From cables to cords, all that stuff. You want to build your store up. It's amazing how fast video game stuff sells.
Yeah. Well, especially fourth quarter. Come on.
And those, I've got to list those too, because those are not listed yet.
Mm-hmm. You betcha.
Mr. Sadie said 2024 is an election year. The sanitizer market looks promising. Yeah, you're gonna
There's
need
more truth to that than we want to admit.
Yeah.
Probably.
You're gonna need more than that. I got a feeling they're gonna be trying to start World War III, because remember, if you declare war, you have a lot more powers to override the Constitution. And how do you set aside an election? We're at war.
Mm-hmm. Has that ever been used, or was it used once? I think.
I don't know if it's ever been used, because even during World War II, what's his name got reelected? FDR got reelected. Yeah. Even though
the argument by some scholars are that the country is less likely to switch presidents during a war, even if they have the election. So it's almost like counterintuitive for them to wait to have an election anyway.
So John said we had an election during the Civil War as well. So Good luck getting the votes from the South. Y'all were too busy burning us down. Y'all didn't let us vote. Damn it.
Yeah.
And there is so people have a hard time understanding that there is that really makes, as a reseller, how does the Civil War affect you as a reseller? It does, and you don't know it. The sheer variety of stuff you find that was destroyed in the South that wasn't in the North, you really find it really has created a dichotomy of antiques, especially if you're an antique seller. Because my grandparents were from up where Dawn lives, and estate sales. When I'm up there and go to estate sales and stuff, there's just so much stuff up there. I'm like, man, I've never seen a lot of this stuff, and it's just stuff that was, not only are the regions were so different from agriculture to industrial, but so much stuff down here was destroyed.
Yeah, that's true. Bye, Swamp. See you, Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn. Have a nice night, buddy.
Yep. Take care. Is it past his bedtime? Ooh. I'm looking at the clock now going, dang, it's past my bedtime. I should probably sign off.
And then a lot of the populations were not as large either. Even out, I think there's only 5 million people in Alabama. Alabama, it's a decent sized land size state, but there's not a huge population. Just
yeah. But in Michigan, you had not only industrial, but you had logging and you had mining and you have a lot of different things going on in Michigan. So plus just tourist as well now, but back then it was more
It was
industrial.
because of that wonderful Pure Michigan slogan they use.
Go baby. Yeah. Pure Michigan.
Is that where you are, Dawn?
Yes.
I'm in Virginia.
The southwest corner of Michigan.
Southwest. Okay.
Yeah, here's
Yeah,
a mitten. Here's a mitten right here. We're right over here. We're
I
about
got
an
you.
hour and a half away from Chicago.
Yeah, my grandparents were on the
Barely
other
far
side.
enough, right?
Yeah, really.
They were on the other side.
Don't you have a uncle or something that still lives in that general area, Scott?
Yeah, aunt. I have an aunt and an uncle up there, plus a bunch of first cousins. But yeah, aunt. My dad's in Milan, Michigan. My dad's youngest brother runs a farmers market and food
Is he the one with the sunflower
self-standing. So what?
Is he the one with the sunflower farm?
Yeah,
Cool.
and the
Swamp
aunt
early
is,
for a garage sale.
she's a retired school teacher. But she had a house in the UP, but now she's, I think, in Plymouth. I think she got a condo in Plymouth or somewhere. And then her daughter.
The UP is very nice. I'd love to live up there, but there's nothing up there.
Yeah, her daughter lives in Plymouth
That's a
as
nice
well.
part.
One daughter. What?
There.
It's just nothing up there.
Other first cousin lives in Grand Rapids.
John's in the bottom of the thumb of Wisconsin. Okay.
At the bottom of the thumb. Okay.
I'm not sure where that is, John, but
I didn't know
cool.
Wisconsin had a thumb.
I didn't either. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I gotta look that up now.
Yeah, but the one thing people ignore when their regions is one of the things that if you're a full-time reseller, you've got to consider is food products.
Mhm.
Reselling food is consumables are amazing because for one thing, they get consumed.
They get consumed. They come back and buy more, hopefully.
And people are so who was building the van for Amazon? No, he was not building the van for Amazon. He was building the van.
Oh, Green Bay. Okay.
He converted into a camper. He is January or 1st of February. Him and his wife are going to get in the Sprinter van and spend a year or two out west.
Cool. That's nice.
Yeah,
I'm about almost as far west as you can go in Virginia. Not West Virginia.
No, that's different.
It's a 2019 4x4 Sprinter that he converted
East
to
Virginia.
No. I'm way further west than West Virginia.
There you go.
Way further west.
Yeah,
Brenda's
a lot of
got-
us
yeah.
live on. Yeah, a lot of us up here live on the edges because hell, I'm 12 miles from Tennessee.
I'm 17 miles from Tennessee.
There you go. Oh, Brenda, she's got a house. The other house in Michigan is 70-ish miles north of, slightly west of Grand Rapids. Yeah, that's that's definitely a bigger town. But there's not much up there. A lot of small towns.
Northeast Tennessee, like Kingsport, Brenda?
Mm-hmm.
It's about, Bristol technically, I guess, would be.
Because just think about what area your food is, what's famous your area for food. You'll be amazed the demand because of with the one thing that's changed over the last few generations is the amount that we move. 8 or 9. What on your lifetime you'll move 8 or 9 times or something. There's some crazy number that you'll move.
Yeah. People want what they used to have in certain areas, and they'll buy it from you.
Yeah.
Might be old news to you, but people like out west can't get stuff from here and out east and etc. What is Dr. Enough? Was that what that was?
Yep. It's a nostalgic soda that comes in glass bottles that's made in Johnson City, Tennessee, which is nearby.
Nice.
And I sell it on Amazon for a lot of money for 4 bottles.
Oh, bad.
So I just get a message from Joni saying, "Why is my marriage to you pending on Facebook?"
Uh-oh.
But it's complicated. There you go.
No, it's on hers, not on mine. I don't know.
It's like, honey, you want to tell me something? I told you texted her one too many times about that knife.
I'm on the fence about putting up with you for the next 30 years.
Oh my gosh.
I can't remember what it was. My wife and I did something years ago on Facebook where we like unmarried each other just to see. It was doing something weird, and I can't remember why. But whatever we did triggered it, and then we got comments from people privately. Are you guys getting them? I'm like, oh.
Are you guys okay?
Because it went into the feed.
Yeah.
So somebody said lock. So John Jones says lock the garage door quick. So there's a problem, John. I put the locks on the door with the little fingerprints on them, and her fingerprints unroll, so it don't matter whether I lock it or not.
She'll get in.
She sent me back a text that says whatever.
That'll work. Tell her to make her listing quota.
I did the famous last words of a redneck today. She sent a message. So Harlan and I went to an estate sale. She sent a message telling me what she was cooking for dinner, and I sent her back a text and not so many words telling her I was going to be her dessert. And so hey Harlan, watch this. I started talking to the phone. He's like, "Did you hit send?" I'm like, "Yeah, right, I hit send."
If Harlan's questioning whether you sent it or not, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's like, "What did she send back?" I'm like, "No, she's not. She didn't reply to that one. Normally she'll send me some crazy response, but yeah,
I love it.
I didn't get a response from that one."
So, Jake, mine looks a little bit different, and it's going to lead me into a question.
Oh.
So, question for the group. If you bought this in a lot on eBay with, I think it was 15 total that I bought, right? And the price they wanted was a little high. And they sent me an offer. I countered really low. And they took it. Cool. I get all 15, and this is the only one damaged. So I sent them a message with a picture, said it's damaged. Can you please? I said it was damaged and left it alone. Mm-hmm. They said you can return it, or you can return all of them. And I'm like, I don't want to return all 15 coffee mugs. So I said, can you just refund the one cup? And what did they say? They said, okay, fine. And they took, so keep in mind when my offer that they accepted was, or no, first they said they wouldn't. They said you were I was about $50 or $60 under what they were asking that they accepted. So they didn't want to they're like, you got a really good deal. And I said, you took the offer. No one forced your hand. Then they said, okay, fine. Well, I want to say it was like only about 60% was the price. The other 40% was shipping. Their shipping fee was insanely high. So when they offered a refund, they only offered that 60% divided by 15. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I would prefer the total price divided by 15. And they said no.
Yeah.
So I opened a return, hoping that they would actually refund me in full for, divided by 15, added together. They didn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Your question is
nothing. What would you have done? Is that what would everybody in the chat or everybody else done? Would you refund it if it's $100 item and you charge them $75 in shipping and it's 10 items, right?
Yeah.
Would you refund them $10?
So you're asking
or $17.50.
So you're asking if I was the seller. If I was the seller,
if you were the seller, what would you have done?
First of all, I wouldn't have gouged you in shipping. Number one.
Well, that aside.
But yeah, I probably would have. Yeah, I wouldn't have gouged you in shipping in the first place, so that at that point the shipping would be off the table anyway. It would just
Right, and so that I mean,
so here's a simple answer. What the customer suggested is what I would do because that's what they see as fair in their eyes, and I would want to do right by the customer.
Right,
That's,
yeah.
That's the answer. Whether you like it or not as a seller,
Right.
you should have shipped it better. You should have done whatever. You honor what the customer, and Kent's 100% correct. Kent says that because most sellers are, I think all buyers are scammers. They teach that. I believe you. I think they do teach that. And buyers ask for a partial. They're trying to call their. You don't win as a seller when you do that. Just
going to move on.
Yeah.
refund and move on.
No, within reason. Now, if they're asking for some ridiculous amount where it's a whatever it says, but if we're talking about the difference of an additional $5 or $10 refund.
So if I had done that, and then the customer would have come back and said what you said, I would have looked at it and go, you know what? And a customer's eyes, that's reasonable. 1/15 of the total. You know what I mean? I would have seen that's pretty reasonable and done it.
Yep.
And I was very, I was very polite. I said I would prefer X dollars. And then they said, well, that's because you're including shipping. They knew what I was asking.
Right, yeah.
They figured it out.
Yeah.
And I expected them to. And so hint, if something's damaged, you wouldn't expect the customer, one item was damaged. You wouldn't expect the customer to never get back their shipping charge. Right. So I was trying to encourage them. What's the difference? And
so the problem you have as a buyer is if you ship it back to them, they can withhold the full shipping amount that they've gouged you for now.
True.
And so they that's another one of those things where eBay tried to cut that out a little bit by saying we're going to charge fees on, so you don't see the gouging on shipping as much anymore because eBay charges you fees on the total. But still, there's people. I don't know if it's the seller did it on purpose or they're just not bright enough to figure out what shipping is, and so they put a big amount. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was 14 coffee cups in a really big box with a lot of padding. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was calculated because I think it was an even dollar amount, but I'd have to go look.
And that's wrong, Ken. I don't like those channels. That's why I don't really watch a ton of channels. I really vet who I watch. There's only 4 or 5 that I actually pay attention to, just because, I don't want to be associated with people who teach that kind of stuff. You've got to do right. At the end of the day, if you want to continue to do this long term, you have to do what's right by the customer. And I've still got to sleep at night, and so a lot of stuff I charge a lot of money for. And so if something happens, I kid about the big girl underwear and stuff all the time, but I've only got a quarter in these things. If they come back, they come back. If it doesn't work, although I'm of the opinion that I don't think underwear should be returnable, but
no.
I agree there.
But the thing is I understand because I've been married for a long time and I've sold a lot of things that women's sizes are so screwed up. A 3X and one there's not a uniform sizing, so you can't go. Men's clothes are so different. If I order an extra large, I order extra large, and it's all 99% of the time it just works. But women's clothes are not that way. An extra large could be. And a dress on one and a skin tight on another. It's amazing how off the clothing sizes are for ladies.
Yeah, and that's why if you're doing clothing, you've got to put measurements in. And still sometimes that doesn't help. It's just that's why I don't do clothing. I hate clothing. I hate it.
I'll do shoes and I'll pick up a jersey every now and then, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was going to sell those Columbia shirts because they were kind of vintage. But they're going to the auction on Monday because, I don't want to deal with them.
I don't blame you.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, is I'm not trying to talk bad, but the person I bought the mugs from might have been a clothing seller primarily. But
did it come in wrapped in sheets and ceiling tiles? That's the question.
No, they were nice. They were nice enough to use popcorn.
God.
Styrofoam.
God, I hate that shit. I hate styrofoam.
Come on, I have a whole box of it. I had to throw.
Peanuts, yeah.
Yeah, the peanuts.
I hate
I mean,
those.
they were packed well. I don't know what happened. They might have.
Whoever uses
you know.
peanuts needs to get the.
Yeah, I hate peanuts. Man.
Jake is not a peanut fan. Not at all.
It was like I was bobbing for apples trying to find all 15 items in there, you know?
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
problem with having 15 ceramic items in peanuts is they still move around.
Yeah,
That's
They were wrapped in bubble wrap also.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So the one thing I can tell you is if a coffee mug got damaged, that means the shipping was terrible, because those things are very indestructible. I mean,
Well, I mean, it just takes two to be close enough together to knock a
Yeah.
few times. I get that, and you're sure the pictures in the listing that did not show that damage.
That's the first thing I looked at was the pictures.
Yeah.
First thing I looked at.
Was it
to make sure I
scratched or
didn't miss
broken?
it.
Was it scratched or broken?
It's chipped.
It's chipped.
Oh, it's
It's
chipped.
straight
It's
up.
got a chip in it. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh. Yeah.
No, I was the first thing I did was check the pictures to make sure I didn't miss it.
Yeah.
But you've got yourself a lovely little pen mug there now.
Yeah.
That's about all it's good for.
I sell
I've
a lot of
got a Starbucks pen mug over there.
Yeah.
I sell a lot of Been There series mugs, and once in a while, one will get cracked or broken in shipping, and I get it back. They're all in my flower bed, and my mom plants flowers in them.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
I drill it. I use a ceramic bit and drill
Drill a
a
hole
hole
in
in
it.
and they're all outside.
Yep. Succulents. You put those in there. They're great.
Yep. I'll take a picture one day.
Cemetery of mugs going on.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
and
awesome.
I've got a few FBA returns that you shake it and it's like ching, 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 ching.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't want to open this.
No.
It's in a million pieces.
No, you don't.
Yep, there you go.
Good
That's
Lord.
nice.
Look, it's got the brand. It still has the barcode on it.
Oh,
That's
oh, that's a 3D one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh.
Oh,
I got $138 for this thing, and they sent it back, and it broke in the return shipping.
oh man.
Was it broken when it got there? Or they broke it sent it to you.
It came back because they put it.
Probably put it in a poly mailer.
They put it in this box, which is first of all a used box and not nearly big enough. I shipped those mugs, they wasn't the same city, but same size. I put these mugs, which are 4.5 inches tall, in a 10 by 10 box, 10 box
Mhm.
every time, because I sold it for $138, and it
I
came
have-
back not in my box.
I have never.
Ryan, I don't
figured
think
out-
we're talking about the same popcorn and peanuts.
So I'm assuming that you did not refund their money completely.
Correct. I had to fight for it though. It was
Ah,
it was stupid. But
So somebody, I don't know if she was kidding by saying, "Do you think it's the ground advantage?" I can tell you one thing that the post office has had trouble through the years since I've been doing this. Since I've been alive, the post office had issues, but ground advantage has been an amazing thing. Ground advantage has been an amazing thing for if you don't appreciate the fact that you have ground shipping to Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico, and your shipping costs have all dropped because of ground advantage. The ground advantage has been absolutely amazing. I am thrilled that they did that.
sometimes it beats media mail, for gosh sakes. Sometimes you can get it cheaper than media mail, which is amazing to me.
I haven't seen that one yet, but yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
I've shipped a few like records, 45s and such, and ground advantage was cheaper depending on the location, of course.
Yeah.
But it's like, wow.
I shipped an 18 by 12 by 12 box to Hawaii yesterday,
Mhm.
and it was ridiculously how cheap it was to ship at Ground Advantage. I
Yep.
shipped a bunch of willow cuttings there.
I'm gonna tell you what ground advantage is. Ground advantage forced UPS to lower their ground shipping prices.
Yeah.
That's how good it is. It forced UPS to lower their prices because they saw what it had already done to them.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely putting a dent in their profits, I'm sure.
So, Nishana, how does that mean? So the ground advantage means a lot less work for them. How does that mean less work for Postal? So I know the one change they made is they don't have to. They used to have to put like divide first class and stuff based on if it.
Yeah.
Jason would want to know if it stayed in the state of Alabama, it had to go a separate way. But
Mhm.
now they all go in the same box and they're sorted together. I don't know if that
Yeah.
means.
Yeah, they pulled out the local state. Yeah, they've stopped doing that.
Yeah, less sorting.
She said less sorting. Okay, that's
That
what
makes
it is.
sense.
Okay. My post office had stopped sorting everything but first class years ago. So the only thing that was separated out was first class mail.
They would sort. They only had to sort local to the state, so it could go to Fayetteville, Tennessee, which is 20 miles, but it would be like going to California. But if it stayed in Alabama, it could go to Mobile, which is 4 hours away. It'd be treated different, which didn't make any sense.
Everything that comes back to my town goes to Knoxville, Tennessee to be sorted.
And there was somebody up there asking about charging on DVDs on Amazon. The only way you charge shipping on Amazon is set up a shipping policy. They force you to do a shipping policy, so it's not like eBay where you can just go. Everyone's different unless you have a shipping policy for every single one of them. But you choose because Amazon has rules about shipping. About you can't charge different areas. So many states within an area have to be the same.
Zones.
But you just set up a shipping table and you pick which table. I just do free because it's easy for me to calculate. And then, I mean, let's be honest. The price is the price, whether you sell it for $5 plus $4.95 shipping or you sell it for $9.95.
Well, and the one thing I would say that I disagree that Amazon does is, so some of the people I compete against, and I noticed one of them increased their shipping. They've gone to $9.95 shipping. So when they have the buy box FBM, then for non-prime customers, which they do, it shows that the item is 22% off. Because when it shows that strike through and 22% off, it doesn't include shipping.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with why Amazon would ever show that to a customer.
They're probably doing some A/B testing. There's most
it's been that way for a long time. But an Amazon customer is used to free shipping.
Yeah.
So why would you ever tell them it's 22% off when it's really the same freaking price?
I know it's one of the big choices with most platforms is people argue about free shipping or not. And so there are some. So I'm going to challenge you to think outside the box. If you have something like, say, 7,000 big girl panties, and they are all going to go first class up to 5 pairs. So if I 4 or less are first class, and I want to encourage someone I make more money with free shipping. And you're going to go, how do you make more money with free shipping? So let's see. Let's just use $10 as around. They're 9 something, but $10. If I sell 3 of them, they're $30. If I sell them, I don't have to argue about discounting shipping or that crazy mess. So if they were 5 plus 5 shipping and they wanted 3 of them, they would say $15. What are you going to do on the shipping? Mm-hmm. You're not going to get the same shipping. And so if you have multiples of a light item, you are less headaches because you're not dickering around because you can't discount free. You're getting the full price and the customer doesn't get upset. And then, free shipping. And then you're able to take advantage of the multiples and they get, if they order 3 from me, they get 20, they get the 5, the 10, the 20% off. Mm-hmm. And so
they're happy
I had somebody order 4 pairs. They were on 15% off. And then they got another whatever on. She averaged like $7.10 for 4 of them, which is fine with me. That means it was $30, and it was still $5.60 to ship them or something like that. I'm still fine with that because remember, I had $1 in them. Do you want the $25 profit for $1? I'll take it.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Make it easier on the customer to buy more. Make it easier for them to help your profit.
Incentivize what you want.
So Nishana, I have no, you're not missing anything. There was a big Hanes buy. I bought 30,000 pieces. The bras came from
you wearing it.
The bras came from Kmart. So several years ago, back in 17 and 18, where all the bras came from, Kmart got out of the bra game on their way out of business, and I might have bought a van full at $1 and something a bra.
Yes, you did.
They were some brand, whatever brand they were, but they sold extraordinarily well. I've still got a few of them here or there, but there's like 2 tubs left of them. But it was because because when you're buying them for $1 and you're selling them for $15 to $29, it's hard to turn down. The big girl bra, the one that I had to put the stupid thing on. That one I picked those up. Those are 48 double D's. I picked those two up at a yard sale.
You don't strike me. You don't strike me as a double D, but this is me.
I had to feel. I can't remember what I stuck in on to make them stick out.
Socks, probably.
Socks,
Big girl panties.
Mailers.
They were double D's. It took more than that.
Bubble mailers, yeah.
Oh shit!
Bubble wrap.
Somebody pops up and all it is a bunch of smoke.
Woo!
Woo woo!
Dave, coming in smoking.
The man with the golden bong showed up.
What's really going on?
No.
Say, yeah, I just try to, one thing, try to find humor with the returns. I can go on the kitchen table right now and there's probably 10 or 15 of them, and probably 70% are those because, hey, John, what's up, man? They're just trying to do something on Friday nights. There's nobody really alive on Friday night, so we're just
hanging out
with whoever's carrying.
Breaking the internet.
Plus, everybody's the old folks who ain't got nothing better to do. Sit around and talk about reselling.
Yeah.
And really trying to be positive and uplifting and answer questions without all the drama that's going on. Man, the drama is just crazy. And so I think people are actually searching that out over the last few days. I really feel that a lot of the feedback that people they want to hear about other things and ideas about what to do and how to succeed versus, and the drama is fun at first, but it gets old pretty quick,
Yep. True that.
And when you don't know all the details, it's all that he said, she said. I'm way too old to be in high school, so.
What's up, John Weber?
Brenda, that's why you're crazy to live up there. 6 inches of snow.
Wait, what? Already?
Yeah, she's in Montana.
Oh.
Or North Dakota, Montana, one of them crazy, get all kinds of snow states.
We're supposed to get snow flurries on Tuesday night for Halloween.
I'll probably do it most Friday nights. I'll start putting it on. I'm not going to commit to every Friday night, but most of them. I'm going to go down to 7 o'clock, so I'll make it a little earlier for us old people.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we were 32 this morning. It was a little cold.
Yeah, we're gonna be 40s in a couple days, so that's gonna be fun.
Well, and then
70 now.
It'll be interesting. One of my boys has to run a cross country meet on November 10th in Boise, Idaho.
Oof, that's brutal.
November 10th.
That's
brutal. Not gonna go well. That's gonna be cold.
No.
Yeah, I know y'all are going to be cold because it's only going to be 50 here on Wednesday. There's no telling what y'all are going to have.
It's going to be cold.
We've been having high 70s all week in the daytime, but low 50s at night. And then it's going to be brutal to go down to 24 on Tuesday and Wednesday.
John, I have not mentioned his name, John. Not going to mention his name because don't.
Yeah,
other than I feel bad that a lot of people that followed, be careful who you listen to and be careful, I say it a lot and say it all the time. I might give you an answer to a question, but double check and verify it, make sure I'm right. I can be wrong. I was wrong, and I made a video this week. I was wrong about variation listings. I can be wrong as easy as anybody else can, but it's not out of it's. How can eBay allow a listing that has sold 14,500 at the time and it be not allowed to be on the platform and they still let it's sponsored. So they are helping. You are allowing a listing that is not allowed to be on eBay to be sponsored. What's wrong with this picture?
It's the same with Veros and stuff. Come on. It's the same thing with them. You've got listings out there of stuff.
It doesn't matter the platform. They will take the money until they're called out or someone says something. It's just like there was an item.
Not eBay, because I know many people that have reported these listings and they stay up because people have mentioned I've reported those variations on video games.
Okay, until someone official or someone important says something, I guess, because there was an item that was deemed illegal as a hacking tool that eBay took down before Amazon took down.
Yeah.
And it's down now. It doesn't exist anymore on Amazon, but
I mean, they should have a way to do these things like CPAP machines. CPAP machines should have a way with the technology we have today. There should be a way that it should never be listed. All you got to do
Right.
is CPAP equipment is so specialized. Do like Amazon does. That is one of the hardest categories. Medical equipment is one of the hardest categories to go to get ungated. They don't take internet receipts. They don't take all that stuff. You've got to prove that you are a medical supplier.
Yep.
There's a way they just.
Well, it probably goes back to there's money there somewhere for somebody.
it's 10 degrees.
That's
Yeah,
why it's not coming
it's
down.
just, I mean, tech companies take money. That's until they get caught. It's every tech company, that's all the platforms are.
Mhm.
It's
Aren't
money.
they all your neighbors?
Yeah, they're my neighbors. Yes. Literally my neighbors.
And he's right beside Microsoft, right?
Oh, yeah. I am
Yeah.
surrounded by Amazon, Neonians, and yes, I guarantee that down the street, there's at least a couple in the brand new houses that went in. Now, I'd like to meet them so they can help me with some of my issues if they're in the right department. Don't get me wrong.
They're probably not, though.
Yeah, I know.
They're not. Unfortunately. Big companies like that. You know so-and-so? No, I never met him in my life. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But they might know
Hey, Noel.
somebody who does.
Yeah. Can you start over? Noel wants you to start over.
We started off talking about all these terrible sellers that live in Washington State.
Yes, we did.
No, I know, John. I know there. Yes, I live in the land of,
Fruits and nuts.
and Dave does too.
Nuts.
And then we talked about how bad it is to source from estate sales. Yeah, that's what we talked about.
It's a beautiful country, though.
Oh,
So Goom's IV, or I don't know, Goom. I'll kill that name.
yeah.
So eBay wants you to. eBay requires next day shipping. Are there certain categories that eBay requires next day shipping, or is that something you can
That's
change?
weird.
I think
That
that's
is
just
weird.
not
There's
right.
custom decals.
Amazon has.
I know for top rated, that's the only reason. Even then, you can still get away with 2-day,
Right.
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what if the customizable. You know how like eBay, both eBay and Amazon both have that
Can you use my computer?
personalization option. That might be what she's talking about, or he or she, whoever Goom's
Yeah.
Very interesting. I have no skill in that, no creativity, none of that stuff. So
No personalization here.
Yeah.
I cut the sticks and put them in a box.
There you go.
Chop, chop.
Can you specially cut them at a 45-degree angle for some people, I guess? Is
Yes,
that where you
technically I
specialize?
can because I use a chop saw.
There you go. Off of there. There we go.
so Ping G says the only other thing want to be. So, but
Top rated. Yeah.
that's just top rated plus though.
Yeah, because you can be top rated with 2-day.
I have 2 days and I'm top rated. That's
Yeah.
to be top rated plus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I probably should now that I'm selling a lot more on eBay than I was. I probably should try that, but I just don't. I don't want the pressure of shipping every day. I like shipping 3 days a week versus 5. So
I ship most days. I ship most things one day, but with real estate, there's plumbing emergencies. You cannot predict when they'll be.
Yeah, true. But
You cannot.
we do 2-day, and that gives us a window, but we usually
Mhm.
try to make it happen in 1 day.
Right.
yeah, like today, I just didn't feel like shipping.
Yeah.
I shipped yesterday.
hmm
Got to get a shipping department.
There you go. Who's that?
Yeah, that is a shame because custom items there should be some allowance for,
Mm-hmm.
and you would think
eBay does have personalization options in the item specifics. Maybe not a separate category that they're in, but they do have the option for personalization in the item specifics. So I'm not sure. I've never used it, but I know it's
Yeah,
there.
neither have I.
yeah, that reminds me. I've still got all that stuff in my estate sale in the van.
Yeah. Don't go to Washington. There's nothing there.
Nah.
Folks,
Good
there's
on you.
you are blessed and cursed to live in a consumer economy. There's so much stuff that's just think about the stuff that's been made in the last few years, much less the last 30 or 40. There's stuff everywhere. If there are people there, there's stuff there. There's just are.
Yeah.
It's just part of living in a consumer driven economy. Okay, so if you lived in, say, I don't know, somewhere in Africa where they don't have a Walmart every 10 feet, or, I can see, maybe you need to make some handmade stuff because there's vast amounts of open space, but it just doesn't happen here. I picked up my phone to look up something. Oh, if there are any yard sales tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy, are there any yard sales tomorrow?
Nah.
Really?
7.
Now that you mention it.
7.
Mm-hmm.
7 yard sales. So has anybody got any parting words? I'm about to go take a nap. Because I have to get up. I have to get up at 5 o'clock.
Oh, you decided to go to yard sales tomorrow after all?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm addicted, and we've only got a few weeks left before we get the cold weather. Tracy says there's 20 plus. So
there you go.
Tracy, are you going tomorrow? Neither one of us went last weekend. Are you going tomorrow? We both have so much junk. So J-Rod, there's a couple of them here. So this yard sale treasure map everybody uses. It's got 7.
Mm-hmm.
The other good one here is you can see it there. It's got the little thing. It's called Reseller. That's a good one here. Find sales. Reseller's got quite a bit more.
That's on Apple though, right?
No, it's on Android too.
It's on Android too. Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't checked that one out yet. That's cool.
It's called GSALR, I believe is what it's called.
Okay.
So the big thing here is Facebook Marketplace is where the majority of them are. You really. So what I end up doing is, so I use InRoute. So the number one reason why I have an iPhone is for a program called InRoute. It's the mapping software that I use to travel all over the country. It's iOS only. And so I will just copy paste all those into the Mac, and then I'll airdrop it to the phone. And then I'll just make my own route based on, because Facebook Marketplace has about half of the yard sales, and then the other half are on this app. If you don't do it, and then Craigslist, I check that just to make sure they got picked up. So there's 4 places I generally check just to make sure, because there's no right or wrong. There's just where people stick stuff.
Yeah.
And
so Treasure Map still works, but it still is not scraping from Craigslist, correct?
So it is scraping from Reseller.
Good to know. Interesting.
Yeah, John said it's nice to meet you, Don. So if you guys are not subscribed to Two Hip Chicks, so
thank you.
Because the other half of Two Hip Chicks is very different, so you got to meet them, both of them.
That's true. We do. We compliment each
other. She's probably out in the garden right now, right?
No, she's in bed right now. Like same as Joni. She's in bed right now. But if she's not on camera, she's in the garden. Yes.
Joni was already asleep when I started the show. They do some cool stuff, whatnot sales, and lots of stuff with vinyl records and music. So yeah, not just straight resale, lots of other cool stuff.
Play with radios and toys and electronics too. Do videos on those. So thank you, Scott. That's cool. We have a good time here. What can I say? Scott and I have the same taste in electronics too.
Oh, absolutely.
Usually.
So that means I don't have to sit out in the garage with my my thing anymore.
That sounded bad. You want to rephrase that for the group?
Really bad.
So boy, well, I didn't want to say that because you know the words they look for. They so what?
Holster.
They since old boy they found him unalived. So that's good.
Yeah, you can do anything you want. You sit out in your garage with anything you want, sir. It's all you. You do you.
Well, the nice thing about when you build your own building is I had them put the that's why there's a side door here over the other door because it goes directly into the fence behind the privacy fence where you can't. We're on the corner house anyway, last at the end of the street, so I only have one neighbor on this side, and so you know when I walk out, I don't leave the backyard and go into the back door. So
true.
You are just opening yourself up to so much, Scott.
He is for sure. Side door, back door, side door.
Pretty sure that was just digging his old deeper.
Yeah. I understand. I hear rumors that you can actually park a car in a garage, but I've never done that.
You can try the back door. You can try it once. I heard you get lead poisoning.
There you go. That's not good.
Outstanding. And I would tell you the subsidy of the other guys, but they don't make any videos. They just hang out.
Sure.
Sorry, I have a job for now.
If I was depending on OnlyFans, I would just go broke.
I don't know, Scott. There's some weirdos out there.
Feetpics.com.
There you go. Dang.
Yeah, that would actually be interesting to have an interview with somebody who sold feet pictures. I think that would be interesting.
It takes all kinds. We're not here to kink shame or anything, but it takes all kinds for sure. Scary people. Scary
you do you, as I say, you do you. That's all right by me.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think it's because most of it, well, Jacob's not, but the rest of us are all Gen X. You know, you're dealing with the original Alaska kids, just live and let live and get by, and we really don't care. I mean, people have a hard time understanding that in this day and that age. I just don't want to. Just don't force it on me because I really don't care what you do. It's your life. You do whatever you want to. You do you. It's a true statement.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
You know, I don't expect you to tell me what to do, and I don't have the authority to tell you. If the powers that have been stolen by the federal government will allow you to do it, then have more power. Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gen X. Carol is your only fan. Lord have mercy. Has Carol even been in here tonight? I hadn't seen her.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen her.
We're hoping we're giving you something to think about tonight. Pretty decent reseller talk. Some try to focus on what you can do versus what you. There's truly so much. Dave, he is sitting. Dave is actually in his garage too. It's a garage hangout. Camera's just far away. Dave lives in California, and when they said that cannabis is legal, he takes that really serious.
Yep.
We'll make it happen. Thanks for having me, Scott. This was fun. I enjoyed it. Hopefully,
I know. If I need a hug, I'll just go wake up Joni. Thanks. I might get yelled at. Okay, if I need a hug, I'll just go grab Franklin. That'll work.
I was gonna say, just whistle, and one of your dogs will surely come.
Yeah,
I'm shocked. Phoebe normally at this time of night has come out here 10 times and whining for me to go to bed because. Yeah, and Franklin, Lord, Franklin barked at the dog next door, folks. So if y'all keeping track, that's the first time I've ever heard him bark at the dogs next door, and he is over a year old.
Wow.
He was sitting there just sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the hell was that? Franklin barking?
He's a dog of few words. Yes.
He barked 3 times. Dave's been here. Franklin don't say nothing. Franklin does not bark like once a week. He
Aw.
bark 3 times at the dog. That
Maybe-
dog is,
Maybe go after Phoebe. Like if Phoebe's carrying on enough, he'll jump in. But that's even rare.
Yeah,
Dog a few words.
our dog is a non-barker. She didn't bark for like probably a month when we first got her. I think she might have had a no bark collar originally, but she is barking more now, but she still is not really a barker at all.
I talked her up.
Ah, there she is.
What
Aw.
a dog.
Both of them
Good
came.
Lord. Good Lord.
A
Holy
party.
moly. You're the dog
They heard
whisperer.
their name.
Jeez.
What? They got all fired up too. Look.
Phoebe, could you tell I was talking about you? Could you tell I was talking?
Aw.
Yeah, Phoebe came and Franklin was just okay. It's time to go. Hey,
There's your
brother,
thumbnail, buddy.
I appreciate the super chat, brother. Thank you so much.
Scott, your next thumbnail has reselling gone to the dogs. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a I'll
That's a
feel
good
that one. That's a good one. What are y'all doing? All right, everyone. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us. We will see you Wednesday or Friday or Tuesday, Thursday for dawn.
There you go. Noon Eastern. Thank you.
Roll
Bye.
Tide.
Keep on trucking.
Roll
Take it
Tide.
easy.